And I still remember when my client first bought it and they bought 2 units there, right? They were like, you sure no? There's no oversupply. I said, don't worry lah. Confirm can one. And make money lah.
Both units, I think, like you mentioned, about 1.2 million. Yeah, and this was how they actually managed.
Not CPF.
Yes, cash. So this is how they actually managed to buy into another CCR property and now maybe into a property in District 15. And
this buyer recently seller just sold a Rolex to commemorate his birthday tomorrow. And it's not a cheap Rolex. Welcome to an episode of the Locked It series where our brokers come together to share with you how we constantly sell our units at top price. And today we have a particular unit at Treasure at Tampines. Okay, if you don't know what this series is about, okay, watch our previous video and you know the objectives. I think I repeat too many times already, but you will know it from other videos. Okay, today we have none other than Madam Geraldine Satrio. Again. And because she just sold a top price in a 4-bedroom unit at Treasure at Tampines. And you know, I'm so happy.
Why?
Because 4 years ago, I helped this guy invest it. And they were very worried about PIE facing. I said, you got to choose this unit. And they make more than $500,000 just buying this. They have moved on to a CCR property, a 4-bedroom CCR property, and they're going to another 3-bedroom District 15 property because there are 2 units there as already sold and they profited close to $1.2 million. So let's talk a little bit more about this unit, right? Share with me. I believe there were a couple of 4-bedrooms that's for sale. How did our analysis allow us to sell this at the top price? Let's talk about it.
Yes. I think as important as selling is, entry price from the investment side is also very important.
100%.
So I think the good thing is they actually enter a very good entry price.
Very good.
Yeah, and a lot of these owners that bought into Treasures, they have profited 500K in their 4-bedroom.
Yep.
And this isn't the first Treasure listings that we sold.
Yep.
We also sold another 3-bedroom listing, which will also help the client invest and profit about 300 to almost 400K.
400K?
Yeah, in a 3-bedroom.
390, I think.
Yeah, about there.
Yeah.
And they already invested in another 4-bedroom
in another 4-bedroom unit.
Yes.
Then they're going to be my neighbors very soon in the Lentor area.
Yes. So I think, yes, first, this owner actually entered at a good entry price. And second, the property has already appreciated about 500 to almost 600K. And so initially, we were looking at a listing price of about 2.25.
Yeah.
So we actually pulled out the entire 4-bedroom listings in the entire Treasure at Tampines.
Yes.
And then we saw that actually what is a good price to actually list this unit at? Because I remember when we first listed it, it was around the June holidays period.
School holidays.
Yeah. The holidays again. So usually holidays period is...
Jerry loves selling listings that are stuck 1 year in the market and doing holidays.
No, this one is not stuck in the market for 1 year. This one
we sold it.
We
took it fresh from the oven and that's how we can profit 500K.
Fresh.
Yes.
Fresh. It was a fresh listing. We actually started marketing at about 2.25 million. We did advise them that initially this
it's a bit higher.
It's a little on the higher side. Yeah, because valuation is about 2.12 million. And we saw that 2.25 would be on the higher side because usually in Treasure at Tampines, people would compare to either PIE facing or pool facing.
That's right.
But we actually, during the viewings, we noticed that actually, I would go for the PIE facing units because you actually get greenery views.
Oh, it's very nice.
And the greenery view is amazing.
9th floor.
Yeah, 9th floor.
Yeah,
9th floor, you get greenery views. I mean, for some people, they are slightly more noise sensitive.
It's what noise you want lah. I mean, in Singapore, either got road noise or got a pool noise.
Yes. Pool noise, you get the kids
You get high frequency screeching.
You get the kids screaming, shouting from the playground. And I think for me, what I really didn't like about the pool facing units in Treasure was you are going to be facing your neighbors.
That's right. It's very near.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember the owner saying, if you are facing pool facing, right, you would get complaints from your neighbors that, my neighbor is butt naked.
Yeah,
I don't want
karaoke. Yeah.
So those are the complaints that you would be getting from your neighbors if you are like pool facing. But the good thing about PIE facing is you're not facing anyone.
That's right.
Yeah. So this was a selling point that we actually sold to the buyers. And first thing, of course, we always go through the pricing analysis with the client to share with them how much the other neighbors are listing at. You always need to do and understand how much your neighbors are looking at to sell. And second, we also did the information kit. We also advised them on the marketing package. And this client, I think they fully trusted us. They went for the full suite marketing package. Home tour video done, virtual tour, even the staging. Usually if the owners are staying in the house, they don't really want to do home staging. But in this case, the owners were okay to do home staging because they trusted us that, if they actually do home staging, it's really going to help them with the viewing experience. And initially, I remember their walls were like painted bright green. Bright green.
So I visited this owner
Yeah.
when they had their open house. I said, that's very good that you save money on a renovation, but why green? And it's a lucky color, I guess.
They said they wanted a different shade of green, but they got
Actually,
like
you
a
know what's
bright
the
green.
funny thing? They asked me what green to choose. I chose that green, but it turned out different.
Yeah, they wanted,
I wanted
like
a more English,
yeah.
Victorian, a Victorian English, green. I came up tortoise green.
Yeah,
I
when
don't
we
know.
came in, we were like, it's a turquoise.
Turquoise.
Why is it turquoise? And also their room. So we said, you know what? Let's go paint it white.
Yeah.
So it's more neutral for the buyers that coming. Because if it's turquoise, not everyone's gonna like it.
Yeah.
So and then they actually painted the entire unit white. And then we also did the home staging.
Yeah.
And I remember when we actually did the home tour and we sent out the videos to the buyers, they were like, is this the actual unit?
Yeah.
And then we were like, yes. Is anyone staying here? Yes, the owner staying here.
Yeah.
Huh, the owner staying here? Why does it look like a show flat? Yeah, so these were the feedback that we were getting from the buyers,
Yeah.
which really helped with the viewing experience because the moment they come in, it feels good.
And the decluttering was the key because they had 2 kids.
Yes.
And 1 toddler.
Yeah.
And I remember, there were toys, there were like a lot of drawing things everywhere. And not only that, parents were also staying there, right? It's like, I think 7 people staying with the helper,
Yes.
right? So it's like, wow. So, and now we have like making sure that it's decluttered so it looks like a show flat. When clients enter, they feel they're buying something new, most
Yes.
importantly. Yeah.
Yes, especially for newly TOP projects. A lot of the buyers coming, they like to come in feeling that the unit is new.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you just build
They
more.
feel okay paying a premium
Yeah.
for something that feels new
Yeah.
as compared to something that is, even though it is, it just TOP and is new, but then sometimes when someone is already staying in there and it doesn't feel new, they feel like, then I might as well go for something that's in a better condition.
That's right.
Even though maybe just a slight touch-up would
Yeah.
actually help to create that
Yeah.
better viewing
And
experience.
that
already.
slight touch up will increase your price by sometimes $20,000 to even $50,000.
Yes.
So why not do it? And you don't have to
Yes.
spend any money.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah, so I mean, the viewing was very important for this. We actually did the information kit. We included a lot of the buyers coming to Treasure
Yep.
because there are a lot of other listings that were also selling.
Yep.
So what we actually included in this information kit was to actually pull up the entire 4-bedroom to
All the
show
competitors.
them, yes, all the competitors, how much they're asking at, which facing, which floor, which unit. So actually this buyer that came, actually the profile of buyers that we were getting for the 4-bedroom units were mainly families.
Yeah.
Families with like 1 to 2 kids.
Yeah.
And the kids are usually around like 4 to 5 years old.
Yep.
And a lot of these buyers, they love Treasure at Tampines because there are no other developments in the area that's able to actually offer that type of facilities that Treasure at Tampines can.
That's right.
It's a very, very family friendly.
Recently I went there, you even see an MP banner there. MP only put a banner if it's a whole township. Because Treasure
Yes.
Tampines itself, it's a whole township.
Yes.
And there were like
2,200 units.
Yeah, vending machines. There were like
Billiard room,
facilities,
reading
billiard
room,
room, reading room, 24
study
hours
room,
gym,
yes.
study room. And I still remember when my client first bought it, and they bought 2 units there, right? They were like, "You sure or not? There's no oversupply." I said, "Don't worry lah, confirm can one. And make money lah." Okay.
Yes. Both units, I think, like you mentioned, about 1.2 million. Yeah, and this was how they
Cash,
actually managed.
not CPF.
Yes, cash. So this is how they actually managed to buy into another CCR property
Yeah.
and now maybe into a property in District 15.
And this buyer recently seller just sold a Rolex to commemorate his birthday tomorrow. And it's not a cheap Rolex, just because of the profits he made. So he used other people's money to buy a Rolex, which I love, right? It's amazing. That's called real estate investment. Okay,
Yes.
so when you first brought the buyer in, was it a first viewing close kind of thing? Or was it there were 2 viewings? Or how was it?
Yes. So this buyer, they actually were not looking at Tampines or Treasure at Tampines. They were looking at Bayshore area or they were looking at around Bartley area. Yeah.
Wow. Very
So
different.
they were looking at a lot of different
One
locations.
is like near the city, and then the other one
But
is like
Bartley,
totally near
yes.
the sea.
Bartley was because one of their main concern for Bartley was it was facing the expressway, and the expressway is really very noisy.
Yep.
Compared to Treasure's PIE, right? It is a slip road.
It's a slip road. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as noisy as you facing the expressway directly. Plus, you get the greenery views.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this buyer, they came for the first time and then they decided to arrange a second viewing to come down. And initially, before they came for the second viewing, the co-broke agent told me that, hey, actually my buyer wants to view all the other 4-bedroom units
Yeah.
in Treasure at Tampines.
Yeah.
And it's quite common for the buyers coming to Treasure at Tampines.
Because
wanting
there's a lot of
to view.
options, ma.
Yes, they want
Yeah.
to see which one is the best.
So if let's say
Yeah.
you are a Treasure Tampines owner and you're struggling to sell, right? It's normal. But let's help you. Because
Yes.
we have done 3 and they were all closed within a couple of months. We have
Yes.
one very crazy tenant who we had to manage, who had to be there during the viewing and talk down the unit. So we
Yes.
are more than ready to take up any challenge of any listing that's stuck there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we managed to arrange a second viewing for this buyer. And we tried to push for an offer on that day, but we had to align on the terms first. I think one important thing when we are negotiating on a deal for the owner, right, it's not only about the price, but it's also always about the terms.
The terms.
I think the terms is important for you to align first before you actually discuss about the price.
Yes.
Yeah, so in this case, the terms actually didn't really align with what the owner wanted.
Yeah.
So they were actually looking at an offer price of about 2.08 million.
Yeah.
And they were looking at a 3 months option period and a 3 months completion period.
Yeah.
And remember, the owner, they wanted to actually buy another investment property after
Which
selling
they have
this.
already just bought. Under a $1 million discounted unit.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was the fire sale that week only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why if, let's say, they were to actually take this offer, they would have missed out on that opportunity of the buy side.
Yeah.
That's why the sell side and the buy side works very closely, is because if you miss out on the sell side, the buy side is also gone already.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why for this owner, we had to negotiate on the terms. So they were initially looking at, why they were looking at 3 months is because this buyer, they needed the funds from their previous property and they wanted to wait for that first before they were able to actually exercise for this. So the funds on their side was a bit tight. So usually the standard is 1% of option fee with a 2 weeks option period and then 4%.
Yep.
And then completion is about 10 to 12 weeks.
To 4 months.
So in this case, it was a 3 months plus 3 months. But I wanted to negotiate for the owner for 2 weeks so that they can actually move on to their next investment property in the CCR market. So in this case, instead of a 1% plus 4% exercise fee, what we did was to actually negotiate with the buyer to do 1%, 2 weeks option period, and 2% exercise. Which is quite rare in the market. You don't usually see this in the market. Yes. So we tried to propose this to the buyer and they were okay with it. Yeah, so only after we managed to align on the terms on this, they were okay with the terms. We knew that the owner would be okay with the terms. Then we started negotiating on the price. We initially pushed up to 2.1. We tried to push again. 2.12 was the max that they were going to offer. Because there were other units that were also slightly better privacy.
And also got renovation.
Yes.
Our owner spent nothing on renovation. Everything was from JB.
Because they also knew because they also knew that they were gonna sell this for
no point touching.
Yeah, so
they were even thinking of leaving some wires hanging. I said no, I think just get a bulb. It looks better.
So I mean, once the offer came in, we met with the owner, presented it. They took it immediately.
I think one of the key thing that I want to highlight is that a lot of times, right, when it comes to pricing analysis, that is key because we know what is the threshold as to how much we should negotiate the price to, what's a fair price, and also what is a low ball offer that most buyers will give? You see, from this angle here, where we're seeing 2.08 to 2.12 million, is 40K difference. And, with the flexibility and the creativity in being able to structure the deal with different terms in the favor of both buyers and sellers, sometimes, ultimately, let's say having a lower exercise fee, it doesn't affect the seller in any way. Because ultimately, the seller is still going to get a full amount. But it makes the buyer feel that there's a win-win situation. It's not just them giving in. Because most of the time, we see deals bursting because there's an ego from the seller and the buyer, but the broker doesn't know how to manage it. We are skilled on managing that. That's the reason why most of the buyers, they'll feel that it's a win-win. I don't mind paying more, right? Any other things you want to share about this particular listing?
I mean, actually, sometimes it's not always about marketing of the home. I mean, closing a deal is not only about the marketing and the viewing, but it's also about the negotiation and thinking about a different creative solution on how to actually make that deal happen.
That's right.
If, let's say, we were not able to actually think about, hey, you know what, maybe let's lower the exercise fee so that the buyers can feel more comfortable with the exercise. And then you may not even get this deal done because it's going to be a 3 months option period. And honestly, with 3 months option period, I remember we were discussing that, you know what, let's just focus on other buyers instead.
That's what
because it's not that we are not getting viewings. We are getting viewings, but let's see how we can actually work on this buyer first instead of letting it go.
That's right. That moment when we were negotiating, I remember the terms. Chris and I were serving this buyer on the investment side. We already realized that there was a good deal. And if this buyer can't fulfill our obligations, then we've got to move on because we will lose that deal there. And then we just find a higher price and a better terms, right? Okay, great. So I'm going to release something right now. And it's going to be something that I think is going to benefit to most owners, right? So if you're an owner right now and you are thinking, what is the actual price? What is this price analysis you're talking about? Why is there this price that, it's not just from XRS, X valuation, the competitive, how do I just merge all the price so that I can get my broker to set a more effective price? price. I'm going to release this if you have watched till here. There's going to be a QR code right now that's going to happen. As you're going to scan the QR code, you're just going to send us the address. We're going to share with you exactly what is your competitive market analysis and what is a fair price to hit and how we're confident. You know, we have been close to 100% identifying the right price. And with that, we have hit record transactions. So the QR code is going to be over here. I think it's going to be somewhere here, right? Just scan in and get a price. You know, you're going into October, November, December soon. This is times where most owners are going to be very demoralized. And you know what? This is also the best time for you to start getting ready before the buyers come in and to sell at the top price, okay? So I'm going to release the QR code here. Please scan it and then you're going to get it, okay? Our broker from our sales side team is going to contact you and share with you what's our competitive market analysis, okay? Yes. Any last thing you want to share?
No.
That's it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Locked In series. We hope that you have been benefiting from this episode. And we hope that you can always support us by sharing with your friends. You know, press the subscribe button if you haven't. Press the notification button if you haven't. Because all we want to do is just to be operationally excellent in selling your homes at the top price. And like this owner, help you make that kind of money when it comes to real estate investments. Yes. We have seen how this kind of investments change people's life, and we want to help you choose that asset because we understand that in Singapore, your real estate asset is one of the biggest asset in your life. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this episode. My name is Jervis.
My name is Geraldine.
And we'll see you for the next Lock It episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.